I don't want. After 5 days, you're like, are you good? This is something we always wanted to do in Maine, and we can never make it happen because of the physical structure. But one of our videographers that knows a lot about Survivor and a lot about this game, William, came up with this last year, and it's a perfect venue. So I want to give him a round of applause for creating this last year. And unlike the reunion shows on CBS, you're all going to get to talk, so that's good. And last year we started a certain way, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to start with the winner, and you always will get the last word too. So
absolutely.
You were victorious. The vote count was 7-4. How did you get 7 votes and prevail?
I think it was a weird mix of things. I think I wasn't like super flashy, but it was kind of sneakily impressive what I was able to do. I don't know exactly what the 7-4 split was, so I'm not really sure whether...
We'll ask. Who was the 7 votes for Anthony? Justin, Brendan, David, Luke, Bobby, Travis, Sam.
So I guess it was a mix of some people were kind of a little surprised when I started explaining, or maybe they were decided. I honestly don't know exactly what the reasoning was for some, but I think I think my explanation of what I actually did do or set out to do and still got here was impressive enough to give me the win.
We're going to ask that question that one player here is going to perhaps struggle with, but it's a staple here. If this was a final 3, let's poll the jury. Who votes for, well, let me ask, rather than having people raise hands, who do you think takes it down? Final 3, Bobby's in there. What would the vote have been? Who would have voted for Bobby?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Of the 3 of them. All right.
So just Gracie doesn't vote for Bobby, I think.
All right.
Does that make you more or less interested in playing around with the ball thing here when we're done?
Yeah, no, I'd love to try that again. Be after a little food.
I'd like to try all of the challenges again.
What do you got?
I'll go with Louis. Got 4 votes, so who voted for Louis? All right.
Yeah, what's interesting there is there are several, it was 3 women in there, and you were talking about how you connect with them. And Sam, with your question, a season defined by, how do you think that the different gender split affected the game? Anybody can answer. How did you feel about it when you started looking around, doing head counts, and looking at what the dynamics were?
I'll take it quick. One of my strategies I was hoping to have coming into the game was get somebody that's opposite of me, that complements areas that I don't have, whether it's a different gender, different age group, just something that's different. And when I looked at my initial tribe, there's only 3 women on it, and I was kind of hoping to have maybe an older woman, a younger woman, just somebody that can get information to me that I wouldn't normally be able to get easily. And the last thing I wanted to do was pair up with somebody that would be like a buddy of mine back home, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. But it's I had to kind of go with the cards that got dealt, and that's how it worked. I wish it was, in my opinion, just my preference. I wish it was an equal split of women though playing.
Sorry, I'm not an old woman.
Yeah.
Well, my question is probably more broad, but and Andy can probably speak this too, having played before, but you kind of go into this game and may not knowing what to expect, and you come out of it, getting this huge, maybe something you didn't know that you were going to find. So anyone can answer. But what was one thing that you found either about yourself or just found it within yourself that you didn't come into the game expecting to find? Will?
I didn't realize that, because I've seen it from the outside looking in all the time, and I've been so frustrated about people not playing fast enough or starting from the very beginning. As soon as you meet people, start making connections. And I did that and did all those things. And one thing that I never considered while being so focused on using every single minute possible is that sometimes you just need to be patient and let things simmer and work out. And I never did that, and that was basically my undoing. And I never thought that. It's totally obvious now, but in the moment, I never thought that too much of those talking, making connections could have been a bad thing.
it is.
Did your experience in this game, the questions are standing between them and food, I understand. Your perspective, I know many of you sort of have talked about wanting to be on the real thing, right? So what has your perspective on Survivor, the show, changed based on having lived this?
Oh, heck yeah. My freaking kidneys almost failed after like 3 days. David's dad's out here, 56 years old, doing it for 39. That's incredible. So, coming out here, I think everybody certainly has a newfound respect for, anybody that gets put on the show.
There was a lot of medical issues, and we can talk through all the medical issues we know about. Maybe some people even held back some medical stuff, and it was just harsh. We had different intensity last year than this year. So those that had some of these medical situations, just let's talk about that situation. Why was this so tough this year?
Steph, I think you were the first that had to experience that, so talk about that.
Talk about it, yeah.
I didn't expect the heat to bother me because I'm from South Florida and I run races outside and I work in a gym that has no air conditioning, and I didn't expect it to bother me at all, and all of a sudden it hit me between 2 challenges and I was just puking my guts up and I was done. So it was definitely unexpected that the heat was going to be so intense here versus Illinois versus South Florida. I was completely unprepared for that.
I mean, yeah, it's extremely tough on your body. If you don't take the right precautions and you don't, approach production and let them know how you're feeling while these things are going on, then it's really only going to get worse. So that's sort of just like a message for future players. Don't be afraid to tell production how you're feeling when you're feeling it, because they're not going to kick you out for being sick. They're just going to be there to help you. So I think I held down maybe 1 apple slice for the first 3 days.
So you really ate my apple pieces.
I
got so hungry, I saw your little pile.
I'm sorry.
I was like, oops.
Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, for future players, definitely don't hide if you're sick. Tell production, they will help you. They helped me, so there you go.
Talk briefly, Christine, about your journey to even get here, because I think that's a great story. If this was a real Survivor season on TV, we would talk about like the journey to get where you got here.
So I served in the military. I was in the Army for 4 years. I fractured a vertebrae during a training exercise, had a spinal fusion. The car hit me, broke all the screws. I went from the front to the back, part of my legs in my back, some dead guys' femurs in my back. I was in a wheelchair for a year. I wore a body brace for a year. I was 21 years old at the time. I felt really sorry for myself for a really long time. Gained a lot of weight. A couple years ago, I decided this isn't me in my 40s. So I hired a personal trainer. A wonderful gym, Premier Tennyson Fitness, and I lost 75 pounds and I got in shape. And then last year I had 1 physical challenge I wanted, and this year this was my physical challenge. So I really just wanted to prove that I could overcome everything I've been through with my back. It was more about that and being a huge Survivor fan. Yes.
You can help production here. What is, not everyone has to answer this, but what is a moment from your experience here that absolutely positively has to appear in an episode? Where if you were to watch the day play out and you're like, wait a minute, you missed the thing that was amazing that I did. What's something that has to be in there? There we go, Lance.
Yeah, for me, I think my moment of being the caller in the blind leading the blind challenge, like
where you walked out in the middle of the field?
That too, but the time I'm calling Travis, Colin, Travis, me almost knocking Julia into the water.
Julia!
Yeah.
Stay right there! Relax! Relax!
But did it stop her from running straight into that white pole?
Or into the water!
Exactly. So it's like seeing the intensity on my face, trying to do the best for my tribe, because I know like me, I did Survivor Challenge for the challenge. I've played a couple Survivor games, I've played live games, and this was one that people talked about that challenges are top tier. And I got competitive bones all through my body, and that's why I wanted to be here. So, you know, it doesn't suck that I'm sitting on this back row. I would love to be sitting where Anthony is, but I'm just happy to say that I was able to experience some of those challenges that I see on TV that I always wanted to play.
Yeah.
All right.
How about any like wild and crazy camp stories that we obviously don't
That we totally
that we don't
missed,
catch as
yeah.
much as on camera? So what were some moments that might stick with you forever?
Travis down there, I think.
I think we had Travis first.
Okay, the first night. This is the weirdest thing.
Oh my god, this is such a
The
good
first night, we're sitting around and we're just talking. We figured the next day was going to be the reward day, and we're like, and Lance is like, okay, give us a sign that we're going to do good tomorrow. He points to the back. As he points to the back, there's this lightning strike.
Oh,
And we screamed, and then I think Zika heard us.
Yeah,
we
thought you guys were.
That's what we heard.
You guys got a
It was the craziest thing.
We did.
It was so weird.
We clearly need to edit in some stock footage and recreate that.
At the camp, we had a tree fall almost on top of us. So
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
oh, that was intentional. Outside of the turn, but Gracie was like, it was the slowest tree fall I've ever heard. It took like 10 seconds, but like you could hear like 15 trees being affected on the way down, and slowly, and then crash. And we're all like laying there and wide awake all of a sudden.
Literally. Well, it's funny because prior to that, we heard something. I was up stoking the fire, and we heard something. And I think Gracie, you were up, and I went to go check it out. And I was walking back, and Luke let out the biggest fart. And I started laughing so hard because it was like, you know, you're all serious and everything, and then there's just this fart. So that was we had a great time in our great tribe. You know what? It takes a lot of guts to sign up to do this, and so, you know, I've had a lot of conversations with some of the people that were, you know, voted out pre-jury, and it's like, you know what? I mean, when John did his story, and you know, we were, you know, like, you guys were one of 132 people that have done this. There's a lot of people that have applied and haven't been on, and you know what? Yeah, to go through this, to, you know, to sleep on the ground and get bit and get sunburnt, and it's amazing. So, you know, you're not too old. I know Bruce and I were the oldest too. You're not too old to try out, and so that was one of the things I think, you know, we were trying to bring to the table, is that anybody, you know, can do this, and just apply. It doesn't have to be the Real Survivor. Try this one first.
Has anyone not said something that you just want to get it off your chest in a group environment? There'll be plenty of one-on-ones over there, but just anything you want to get off your chest about
when you win, or
I hate Sam.
Oh my God!
So there, Austin and I are in an alliance, in case you guys didn't know. We were for like 10 seconds, and we both sat out of the blind leading the blind challenge because Austin gave me the advantage, not Lance. I don't know. Most of you know that.
Yeah, because William, I kept my relationship about me knowing Austin, because we pulled up, everyone saw everybody for the first challenge. I saw Austin, so I'm like, the first chance we intermingle, I need to make sure I tell Austin, I'm not going to tell nobody about you, you don't tell nobody about me. But this guy obviously knew me, and I didn't know nothing of William, and told his whole tribe about Lance and Austin's relationship. So when Austin got his advantage, everyone assumed it was Lance, so they needed Lance out. Yep. And come to find out, this little lady had it. The idol was an idol that if I would have got the idol, I would have used it because I knew I was going home.
Shit would have went down.
I would have been saved, and I probably would have been maybe somewhere on this bench.
So that happened, and then when I played my idol in the very epic, crazy tribal council,
I take credit for that.
Austin gave me the idol, but I would not have known to play. I had like a couple hints. Like Justin said one thing about, like, there's some really social players still left in this game, and Gracie came up to me right before tribal and was like, so the plan's still the same, right? And I was like, yeah. So like I was kind of tipped off, but probably not tipped off enough to play the idol, until Rachel literally walked in behind me in tribal and said, it's you, you're in trouble. And I was like, are you sure? And she said yes, because Rachel and I are like best friends from college.
Yes.
Yeah. And no one knew that.
You guys know this.
Wait, we should go through all the secrets. We should go through all the secrets.
Air the laundry.
How when Rachel was looking at Sam all crazy.
And it's so, oh my god.
I literally was like, ooh, Sam, that girl Rachel, like you was talking to Austin, you take her on Rachel's man, like she looking at you crazy. And she's like, oh my gosh, she
about
hates
how
me.
much Rachel
I gotta make sure I stay away from Austin.
So listen. Here's the story though of where I'm talking to Rachel, and I'm like, oh, your teacher, cool. Where'd you go to school? Because you just got out of college like a year ago. She's like, pause for like 5 or 6 seconds, and then goes, in Ohio. Alright. Like a few seconds, and you're like, in Ohio. I was like, alright. You just said it, but whatever, you didn't say the school. And then I swear, like 30 minutes later, we're laying down. I swear to God, no one's even talking. All of a sudden, Sam just goes, oh, so where'd you go to school in Ohio?
I don't think I said it. I don't think it was
And she
completely
said-
wrong.
I think it was Austin's fault. But she
goes,
she did not help me out.
You go, oh, Ohio State. I go, and you go, oh, me too. And it did not seem organic at all. I'm like,
Okay, you're the only one that doesn't think it seems organic.
But-
Because
but-
literally David said, oh, you guys played it off so well.
No, so here's the other thing. You were both teachers, and I was like, how did two teachers that graduated the same year not?
Neither of us were education majors,
Oh,
but we didn't
okay.
have the same major.
But
I
we
don't think
both went to Ohio State. We were both in the same scholars program. We both did Ohio State Survivor. We both are teachers. We both do Teach for America. So we know each other.
multiple ways by the end of this college. But yeah, so that I will say, while I am incredibly epic in my own regard, Rachel was the reason that I played the idol, and I will give her her due.
If you know you're role playing, can you answer
I had no idea
So
she
they
was
didn't
playing
know they were-
beforehand.
they were
I
gonna
probably
do
thought
I
I
hate her because I was like, I sass the people that I like and that I know, and like we've been friends for so long that I'll just like be a jerk to you, but I wouldn't be a jerk to anybody else because I don't know you guys that well, and you probably heard that and were like, damn, she's a jerk to you.
To kind of bring it back to the game really quick here, I want to call out one person. So this person is someone who, I'll just say it's Gracie. At the start of the merge, we were interviewing everybody, like your kind of first round of confessionals. She was one consistently, how everyone was saying, no one's talking about Gracie. Like, and no one's talking about Gracie. She's, avoiding the target. Pre-merge, everyone loves her to death. So I just want to ask Gracie, like, what's the secret, for future players or whatnot to kind of be as unnoticed but still kind of notice throughout the game?
Yeah, when we got to camp, there was a moment where we were all kind of kumbaya by the fire, and then in a split second, it just kind of felt like everyone scattered to gather wood. And so, like, immediately I panicked of like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to like go out there and make alliances or something. And so I went out there and like I heard Becca whispering, I don't know if she heard me, and I was like, oh no. And then like we made eye contact and they all scattered. And then I went up to Justin and Donna and I was like, how are y'all feeling? What are you thinking? And Justin was like, it's too soon for anything. And they both walk away. And I was like, oh wow, like I'm out. And so I kind of took a step back and I was like, I need to play really, like, they can come to me if they want me. And if there's something, maybe I can jump in later. But I think I saw it as I need to take a step back and let people come to me. And so then after that, 4 different people came to me and said, hey, let's do this. And 3 of them, I think, were really good ones. And I'm looking for that too. It wasn't like they just approached me. It was we were together and it was both like a, let's do it.
And what do you think it is like in you, or maybe just a general person, that kind of, those qualities that would attract people to you or to future players? Like what kind of personality does it take to draw in people like that?
Ooh. I mean, I think I tried to play really calm and confident. And so, and I think a skill of mine is to relate with people. And so I feel like when I'm talking with people, I can relate with them and get to like see kind of what personality they want to work with too. It's kind of a lot what Anthony was saying of just like reading people and like what are they wanting to see and hear from me. But at the same time, just being genuine. I really tried to play a genuine game as much as I possibly could.
I probably should have started with this, but you guys played a hell of a game. Seriously, like you're gonna bump into a whole bunch of people over there who are gonna talk about like a lot of you heard Rita saying like this is the best episode of or season of Survivor she's ever watched. And
the alumni were telling me that all
people
weekend.
who have a vested interest in thinking that their season was the best including people on production and all of the people who played last year. We were sitting back in awe of the quality of gameplay from beginning to end. You know, I am somewhat notorious for, you've seen me take copious notes, and I try to track where everything is going and try to be able to predict so we can prepare.
It was awful this season.
So bad, and I loved it. It was amazing because you just kept us on our toes. You saw how much we were scurrying around during those tribals, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, what in
Just
the
a little
hell
bit.
is going on? And that's beautiful. And we, so much gratitude, which segues into, we have a lot of people watching, people invested in you as characters and as people. And we do have, as you probably are aware from previous seasons, a fan favorite. They've been taking votes, and I don't even know the results, but he does.
Dustin knows.
So, if you would like to tell us.
So I do want to do a quick shout out to all your new fans online. Just on our Survival Challenge page on Facebook, we've gained over 400 new likes, 500 new followers. So that's really impressive. They have left over 28,000 engagements. Engagements are if you hit the like button, if you post a comment, if you share something. So 28,000 just over these few days.
What was it last year? 10,000? So we've tripled it?
Tripled it.
Yeah.
So.
That's going to take a while to read.
So good. Yeah, good luck.
Summer plans.
Well, speaking of reading, they have left you about 4,500 comments to catch up on for all the
So
videos.
get those phones, get ready.
And they have invested some time themselves. They have spent over 1,300 hours watching all the live feeds of you guys. And it just keeps going up. So it's these guys right there.
It's all you guys.
And how many people voted?
They were limited to vote as much as they want. They could consider it kind of like an endurance challenge. They can sit at the computer, you know, go as much as they want.
I kept saying, smash the vote, smash the vote.
Yeah. And they smashed it over 9,800 times.
Oh, wow.
At first, 4 people stood out, and as the game went on, about 6 of you. So the top 6, Julia. This is in no particular order. When you got voted out, your numbers rose up. So whoever was really mad at your vote outs, try to get you back in. Luke. Your family, of course, is super supportive.
Embarrassingly so.
And then just like family, Travis, your friends are super supportive for you too. So, Bruce, I think your work with the church paid off because they were right behind you too. And then Stephanie, great job. I kind of came out of nowhere. And then lastly, Austin, your online fans definitely tried to pull you back in, but we only had one winner, of course, just like you guys did here, and our fan favorite for the online polling goes to Travis.
All right.
Anyone who has not spoken, raise your hand.
We're going to call you out if you don't.
Yeah.
I'm saying this reunion show.
Okay, what do you want to throw in? Tell us something.
Oh, that's a lot.
Say something cool.
Hello. I mean, well, when people were saying that they were super hungry and super sick, I mean, it's kind of weird because I felt like very normal. I didn't feel sick at all, and I think I ate even less than my tribe. Like, I didn't get any protein. Like, when the reward came, I couldn't eat the meat, so I just kind of had more rice, and it's kind of alarming how normal I felt, except the anxiety. Killed me. But
Angela, you did a lot of prep to get here. You want to talk about some of the preparation you did to come out here?
I certainly can, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So before I came out here, I had not had the great weight loss that Christine has certainly had, but I had in the previous year lost about 45 pounds. Preparation for this, I didn't know how to swim, so I learned how to swim. I was in the pool 3 to 4 times a week, learning how to swim. Doing things around the house, and I quit smoking almost 2 months to the day that I stepped foot in.
That's awesome. Start back.
One of the things that, as I was getting ready for this, and the folks that are on my tribe mentioned I had about it, but I didn't really talk a lot about it. We had been estranged for the last 4 years. And one of the things that I knew going into this game was that it doesn't matter if I'm the first one out or the last man standing. I'm a winner because of all those things that I've accomplished. And this has also given me the space with my daughter to have the conversation and start that healing process. Unfortunately, she came when I was getting voted out. but again, it's one of those things where I can still be here, hold my head up high, knowing that in the grand scheme of life, I've got a lot of great things going on.
So, Kyle, I have a question. Does the Kias that went onto the merge without you, do they know about your little secret yet?
I think most of them do. Julia was the only one that knew. So I had an idol that I was voted out with, for anyone who doesn't know. But Julia was standing there with me when I found it. Because I like came around this tree and she's standing right there and she's like, hey, what's that? And I was like, it's right in front of me. Just don't say anything. And so I was able to get the idol then. But can someone tell me, because people keep asking me, was the clue in the burger or in the hamburger bun?
It was in my hamburger. No.
It was for mine, the one that I got.
It was in your hamburger bun.
Okay, because people kept asking.
We were wondering because we're like, how did he just put his patty on but not?
I dug it out and stuck the clue in.
Okay.
I was watching who was eating what.
I had the other half in the hot dog bun.
Right, I know. We each got one of that.
But you didn't tell anyone you got the other half. We thought we just got half the clue.
And now I see why Julia wanted to work with Colin.
So we get back to camp.
I was so confused.
Sounds like they put
I only had
Right. Yeah, so we get back to camp.
I told you because then
I know. Well, we get back to camp and Lance is like, I have an announcement.
Miss Samantha here stuck in my water bottle.
Okay, I was looking for the plate for the barter. I didn't just look through it, and then you didn't tell me because I looked through your stuff. I wasn't even looking through your stuff. I was
Our
like,
counselor's on vacation, so.
Speaking I didn't want to know how my shirt got out there.
I have no idea how your shirt got out there. I did not put it out there. It was not me.
All right, Sam.
I was going to say, speaking of looking through people's stuff, yeah, the first night that we were here, we're all snuggled up, and Bobby was laying awake, and Bruce was tending to the fire, and he said he saw Bruce, kind of going in our box, and he said he saw him lift something up and then just put it away, and then he went right to bed. So, it's all of us sitting there, and we're all like, whoa, like, did Bruce find the idol? We're all kind of freaking out while he's, I think you were off blowing your nose in the bathroom. And me, Christine, and Jen decided that...
Thanks, Bobby. That was the bug spray.
I saw what I saw.
Well, yeah, you didn't have the idol, so that was good. It's good for me. Yeah.
Sorry, Bruce.
Sorry, Bruce, but yeah, that was a really funny moment.
Something that was talking a lot about this season was connections and who was hiding their past experience with games and their stuff. I mean, like right off the bat, we have freaking David Crowley on this secret.
Yeah.
But one of the best kept secrets was Luke, who I didn't know until I got voted out and would have changed my entire perspective on him. How did you keep it such a good secret for the majority of your game?
I mean, it was easy to just not really talk about it. Unfortunately, Anthony pretty much knew everything about me coming in.
Well, that Courtney was your sister?
That Courtney was my sister, and
yeah.
also that we played together. Anthony, all the secrets that I kept, Anthony told his tribe. So,
I did immediately.
But I don't think any of the blue told the red or orange.
I just assumed you
I
guys
wanted
knew
to
too.
use it as leverage.
Right, and that's kind of what I was thinking. Like, let's just pretend no one knows.
Yeah.
Let's just never talk about it. Maybe people will forget. But I don't think it affected my game at all. And I don't think it should. Like we're very different people anyway. So.
And you also was able to keep it a secret because you didn't have someone like William on other tribes selling it.
Right.
Me and Austin kept ours a secret, but you know we wasn't gonna tell our tribes about that. But William was just so like gung ho about like, well, let me expose this one.
The first conversation I had with William is, hey man, what do you know about David? I'm sorry, what's your name? So it was funny though. Yeah, he was very quick to come out and say who had experience in spectatorship.
Yeah, so kind of like, okay. So kind of like Luke, actually, there's one more in the cast who's related to someone from last year as well, which is Bruce. He's Bryce's dad from last year. So just what's that kind of like now, being able to like share this experience with your son?
Well, we're not able to talk too much during this thing, so we're looking forward to our trip back. But yeah, as far as me personally, seeing what he went through last year, and which I was watching just like everybody else was watching, and I was like, I could do that. And so then after I got casted, I was like, what the hell was I thinking? But I'm really, really glad I made it. And one of those is, yeah, me and Bryce have lots of connection points, and we're like twins in so many ways. But I'm looking forward to being able to talk about this, because that's all a lot of the things we talk about is Survivor. So this has been a great experience.
He talked about his son. He kept talking how he loves watching Survivor with his son. We never asked his son's name. Didn't even think to.
His name was going to be Herman.
I want to give a shout out to somebody that wasn't able to be here and had a interesting experience in season 6, Jen. So, anyone have a Jen memory before we go to the close?
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh gosh.
So, well, first night I was the pillow for Rachel and Jency. Rachel was here and on my chest, and Jency was on my forearm or in the palm of my hand, literally. And then the second night, I was sleeping with just Jency, and I felt so bad. I thought like I was just gonna choke her to death because she wanted me to keep her warm, and I was literally She literally had my arm like this around her neck, and I was like, "Are you okay with this?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm just cold."
Yeah, so I had heard rumors that Jen last year got hit in the head with a block, and during one of the challenges, and I actually think one of my probably my top 3 moments. It was during the Drunken Sailor Challenge, and we're doing the puzzle portion, so I'm just kind of watching to see where everyone else is. And I look at the orange team, and I just see Brendan face first, into Jen, and just knocking her on her ass. Like, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. He just toppled on top of her.
I was so frustrated.
I was like, it happened again. Jen's cursed.
Can I just say that you guys brought it too? This was the most unpredictable game to try to figure out from a challenge.
Which is funny, because the entire time like this is going to be happening, I've been behind the scenes before. I know it's going to come out, and then dead wrong.
Nope, you kept us on our toes.
Still waiting on that swap.
When's the swap happening?
Drop your bus.
We were so close.
All right, everybody. So we want to end with letting these guys have a last word. They were the ones who ultimately defined the narrative, because they are the ones sitting here. But again, to all of you, thank you for that. Thank you. But all we do is set the stage, and then it's all about what you guys do with it. I'm glad we fooled you, but you fooled us over and over and over again, the same way you were fooling each other. No cast has ever done that before, and it kind of blows my mind. I don't know the whole story yet. I want to talk to everybody in bits and pieces till I can get it all, because my head is still spinning. All of us. You rarely see these 3 putting our heads together, and it's like, what the hell are we going to do now? So, but let's end here. Last thoughts, last words. We haven't heard much from you, Louie, and then we'll let you have the final word. Any final thoughts on this journey? I mean, we talked many times, and you went into the last day, you were doomed.
Yeah.
And I asked you a question in confessional, like, let's just throw out a crazy scenario in which you're sitting there at the end, and how did you get there? And you're like, I don't know. But you got there.
I did. The answer at the time was I don't know, and I spent a good portion of the night
trying to figure out how, if I was able just to flip one more vote, I thought I was in enough heat the day before that the target might shift away from me. I had to keep on my toes because obviously I had to keep on my toes. I got votes every single tribal after. But when you look back at Survivor seasons and you kind of see the people who are in a similar situation where they escape votes where it's really supposed to be them and somehow something goes wrong, all I needed was a little bit of time. And that's what that night gave me, was time. Because when you have time, things can change. What's so different about this experience, this survival experience, is that there's very limited time to get things done. And I think there was a high level of paranoia the entire season because since we didn't swap and the connections and the lines weren't blurred, everybody wanted to stay as true as possible to their colors while also trying to make connections with other colors without making it seem obvious. And I think a lot of luck is involved when people start thinking of new ideas and go like, you know what, this is the good time to do this. This is the good time to do this. They're not going to expect that. When you've been the target for so long, you start becoming the easy vote, and then nobody wants to do the easy vote. And that's where I think my luck changed when we woke up this morning and the first thing that happened was me not going home. Luckily, my slot moved down to 2 as opposed to 1.
And you talk about having time and about the design of the game. You guys had 2 days of merge. First time we've done that. And again, that was by design to give people those moments and those opportunities to have a perhaps truer post-merge game where it's not rolling on just one day. And again, I know I keep saying this, but you guys used every last second. And it was beautiful to watch. Last word is yours, my friend. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to say it was just from the moment I landed in Macomb. I did not expect to even come close to winning. I just didn't. I got here at like noon or 11:30 or something, and I'm sitting like in my car, don't know what the hell to do for 5 hours, and I just keep calling my brother and like my wife and sister, and I was just like, dude, what should I do? Like, I'm so nervous. Like, the butterflies are going crazy. I can't get them to stop. Like, I need to eat. I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna do well. But it was so much fun. You guys are really good. Thanks for everyone playing so crazy and letting me slide through so I could get some better footing. But it was unbelievable. So much fun. I did not expect to struggle so much. I tried to hide it for a little bit and then I couldn't. My stomach was in knots for messed up for a couple days, but it's just gonna be. I can't wait to just talk to everybody for just after we leave here. You know what I'm saying?
It never stops. No, I will say that's one thing too.
I think a lot of us definitely made friendships that are gonna last like a really long time. So
as many of you heard, you are part of a very crazy extended family. We're so happy to have you, and as I talked about with many of you, the sting of being voted out, you're on a big farm full of losers, except for a handful of you, and you. You know, we're going to get you over there so you can feel the love, because that's what keeps people coming back. Like last year's cast,
almost all here.
Yeah, maybe 75% of their cast is here. They couldn't stay away, and we hope that's the same with you guys. We want to see your faces here and help you bring the same vibrancy that we've had for 7 years now. So help us with 8. But go, feel the love, get down there, eat some food.